Live from the CSI Soccer Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island. CSI Sports Net features the Pioneers of William Paterson University taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good morning, everybody. This is Joe Foreman, joined by Mike Babuski, calling all of the action live from midfield during today's non-conference matchup between the Dolphins and the Pioneers. And Mike, the Dolphins come in having split their first two games of the season. The first game played against Penn College was played here, a 3-2 Dolphins victory. The Dolphins will enter today's matchup against William Paterson, having dropped their last game to Ramapo by a score of 5-2. What are you looking for from the Dolphins today in order to bounce back?
Well, you know, Joe, for the Dolphins, they got off to a good start on the year. They had that big win in their home opener, as you mentioned, by a final score 3-2. And, you know, they went on the road to Ramapo College, and, you know, you knew that was going to be a tough game going into the game, but they were able to pick up a couple of goals in that game and, you know, keep the game close and drop one by a score of 5-2. And, you know, today, Joe, of course, they're going to look to bounce back against a William Paterson team that, you know, the Dolphins have had little success on in the past and, you know, are going to look to turn things around here this afternoon.
Well, it has been a very tough time for the Dolphins against this Pioneers team. William Paterson has outscored CSI by a total of 24 goals to 1 during their previous 4 meetings. Today is number 5 between these two teams. The Pioneers looking to make it a perfect 5-0. Perhaps standing in their way of doing that, Samantha Laval for the College of Staten Island, picking up right where she left off last season. Already 3 goals for Laval through the Dolphins' first 2 matches so far this season. A pair of those goals came against Penn College in the home opener here back on September 8th. Laval added another goal against Ramapo in the Dolphins' following game, the 5-2 defeat. Also, Mersada Palinkovic with a goal and an assist on the season as well. She's registered 3 points and continued from where she left off last year, one of the Dolphins' top goal scorers in 2018, second on the team in goals here in 2019. The third Dolphins goal scorer this season is Jordan Yagos, who earned herself CUNYAC Rookie of the Week honors to kick off her Dolphins career. Her goal against Penn College ultimately proving to be the game winner.
Yeah, you know, Joe, the Dolphins have scored 5 goals, as you mentioned, in the first 2 games of the year from 3 different players, and you know, 2.5 goals in a game is a pretty decent number. The question is, are they going to be able to do enough on the defensive end to slow some of these teams down and and keep the score relatively close? Plus, this year the Dolphins going into the season with a new goalkeeper in Samantha Boudreau, so it should be an interesting year. It's a Dolphin team, obviously, like all the other Dolphin teams, that's in the process of transitioning over to Division II. And, it's going to be a great year for these ladies to come out and play and, really look to improve on their results that they've gotten in the past. And today is certainly going to be a good opportunity to do that. And, in only their 3rd game of the year, this team's still developing. So it should be a very interesting game here this afternoon, Joe.
It should be, Mike. And something I failed to mention about last year's matchup between the Dolphins and the Pioneers, in that game, CSI did have the early 1-0 lead, albeit a very early and short-lived 1-0 lead. The Dolphins scored just over 4 minutes into the first half of that game on a Lauren Smith goal. The Pioneers immediately answered just over a minute later with a goal by Marissa Adelman, and from there they never looked back. Adelman would add 3 more goals in that game, giving her 4 for the match against CSI last year. William Paterson winning that game by a final score of 5-1. But taking a look at the final shot tally in that game, both teams even in shots with 12. 8 of the Pioneer shots on goal, 6 for the College of Staten Island. CSI outshot William Paterson 10-4 in the second half, albeit because William Paterson likely made a lot of substitutions at halftime, already leading 3-1 in that game. The Dolphins got off to the strong start in that one. They'll be looking for a similarly strong start in this game today, but of course they'll have to be better than a single goal in all likelihood to take down the Pioneers for the first time in program history.
And, Joe, you look at this CSI women's roster team, very different. A lot of freshman players on the team, and, the results in the past aren't really going to matter to this team. It's going to be a new team that's going to be developing their own identity. And, we mentioned 11 or 12 freshmen on this CSI roster and, very few seniors on this team. And, some of those seniors haven't been with the team all 4 years. Of course, they bring back the leadership of Natalia Sandor and Nicole Mignon back on the team for her 4th season. And, of course, Rebecca DeLoya, now a senior senior. Hard to believe, Joe. She's in her 4th year already. It seems like yesterday when her and Lisbeth Aparicio came out and joined the club and, really added so much to the CSI defense. And, both players, seniors now. It's, time certainly goes by quickly.
It does, Mike, and those are two players, Aparicio and Deloya, you just mentioned. I believe Sandor as well. They were on the team the first time I called CSI Dolphin Soccer back 4 years ago in 2016. So next year, none of those players who were on the roster in my first season on CSI Sportsnet will be on the team any longer. But going back to your point, Mike, a lot of young talent on this team as well. And the Dolphins have several of those first-year Dolphins in the starting lineup today. You mentioned Samantha Boudreau in goal, Callie Long, another first-year Dolphin, Caitlin Askew, Donnie Duca, Angie Galan, Amber Mitchell. You go down the line, a lot of young players, not only on this Dolphins roster, but in the starting lineup today. So for the College of Staten Island, they'll be looking for the combination of their youth and experience to be enough to take down this tough William Paterson team.
Yeah, and Joe, and you look at this Dolphin team now being coached in their 2nd year by Brittany Caceres, and she's developing her own identity with this team, and really starting to bring in her own players. And like I said, this will be the first time that I've seen them play in person this year, and really looking forward to seeing how this team comes out and looks, against a William Paterson team that we've already mentioned a couple of times in the pregame show. Joe has given the Dolphins a lot of trouble, although thus far on the year, they've only scored 5 goals on the year as well.
And that's an uncharacteristically slow start for them scoring. And I mentioned before that in that matchup with the Dolphins last year, scoring 3 goals, I'm looking for the name, Marissa Adelman, who scored the 4 goals, I should say, against the College of Staten Island last year, is leading the team in goals once again this year, or I should say sharing the team lead in goals right now. She's only registered 1 goal thus far in 2019. Corinne Bowe also has a goal and an assist, much like Adelman. Those two players with 3 points leading William Paterson in scoring so far in 2019. So with the starters being introduced out on the field, I'll share those starters with you as we're about to get underway from the CSI Soccer Complex, and then we'll take a break for the playing of the national anthem. Starters for the William Paterson University Pioneers: in goal, number 1, Brooke Shao. The rest of the starters for the Pioneers in numerical order: number 4, Ashley Cozy; number 9, Corinne Bowe; number 12, Emily Profaka; number 14, Marissa Adelman; number 17, Daniela Lebu; number 18, Kristen Bowe; number 19, Lorraine Moffitt; number 21, Kayla Miller; number 22, Danielle Dachowski; and number 24, Megan Ponce. For the College of Staten Island, in goal is 0, Samantha Boudreau. The rest of the Dolphin starters in numerical order: number 1, Callie Long; number 4, Caitlin Askew; number 5, Rebecca Deloya; number 8, Nermina Bracic; number 10, Donnie Duca; number 14, Angie Galan; number 18, Natalia Sandor; number 19, Amber Mitchell; number 21, Samantha Laval; and number 24, Mersada Polinkovic. So with the national anthem about to be played, we will step aside for just about a minute or two. When Mike and I come back, we will have the call of the College of Staten Island and William Paterson University from the CSI Soccer Complex. The 1-1 Dolphins looking to make it 2-1, while 2-1 William Paterson will look to pick up their 3rd victory of the season. And we're back from the CSI Soccer Complex. Dolphins and Pioneers about to get underway from the College of Staten Island. CSI comes in with a record of 1 win and 1 defeat. William Paterson enters with a record of 2-1-1. Once again, William Paterson looking for their 5th victory against the Dolphins in 5 chances. The Dolphins looking for their first victory over William Paterson in program history. And Mike, I mentioned the meeting last year between these two teams. On the stat sheet, a lot of that meeting showed a very even game, but unfortunately that was not the case for the Dolphins. What has to change today?
Well, again, the first thing the Dolphins will have to do is play defense, because in soccer, everything starts from the goalie out. So for the Dolphins, it'll be the key to come out, let's start the game, let's see how they can do defensively, see how they match up against William Paterson, and, try to get on the scoreboard first. And you mentioned in the pregame show that we got on the scoreboard first in the game last year, Lawrence Smith getting that early goal for the Dolphins. But, coming out this year, coming off of allowing 5 goals against Ramapo College, I think the first task for the Dolphins here this afternoon is to be solid defensively.
Well, strong starts have been key for the Dolphins in their victories. One such victory this year already against Penn College. They jumped out to an early 2-0 lead in that game. That lead was cut in half early in half number 2, but the Dolphins were able to regain a 2-goal lead on the score by Jordan Yagos, and that ultimately proved to be the game winner. It put the Dolphins up 3-1. Penn College did make a late push in that game to try and tie it up. They got within a goal once again, but CSI able to hold off the Wildcats for their lone victory this season. Against Ramapo, things did not start off nearly as well. The Dolphins fell behind big early. It was 3-0 early in the second half, 2-0 early in the game. And CSI did get a goal up on the scoreboard to fall behind 3-1, but Ramapo once again quickly put more distance between themselves, and CSI Dolphins never really made that a game in the second half. So we'll see if the Dolphins can get off to a strong start against this Pioneers team today. They will likely need it. As I referenced before, shots between these two teams even in their last meeting in 2018. The 4 previous meetings between these two sides have been scattered across several seasons, I believe dating back all the way to 2005, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of the meetings between these two teams taking place quite a while ago, and that meeting I referenced from last year, the most recent matchup between these two teams, was the first time they met since the year 2015. They also met in 2009 and 2007.
Joe, looking on the William Paterson side here this afternoon, we mentioned they've scored 5 goals on the year, 5 individual players scoring 1 goal apiece for the Pioneers this year. Brooke Sachow in goal for the Pioneers, the 6-foot freshman making her first start in 2019. She's played just under 5 minutes on the year, coming on in a substitute role earlier this season, Joe. So it'll be interesting to see how the freshman does in goal for William Paterson here this afternoon.
If you're the Dolphins, you would look to test her early. We'll see if they can do just that as Pelinkovic wins the ball right at midfield, plays it back to her back line. This is Rebecca Deloya. Deloya up to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic works toward the far sideline, finds Mitchell. Mitchell retreats a few steps, looking for either Long or Pelinkovic. That one knocked away by the Pioneers. They take possession. Pioneers moving slowly up the far sideline. That was Profaka with it, but Dolphins forcing the Pioneers to retreat just a bit. Good move there to avoid Samantha Laval by Megan Ponce, but the Dolphins have it in the midfield circle. That's Long over to Galan, back to Sandor. This is Caitlin Askew. Finds Mitchell. Mitchell being pressured by Adelman. Back to Askew. Her pass is blocked by Kristen Bowe. Recovered by Callie Long. Long over to Deloya, faces pressure from Bowe, and her pass taken away by the Pioneers. Here comes Danielle Dachowski, who gives it up to Kazi, stolen by Angie Galan. Galan looking for Samantha Laval. Laval has some space, and she's able to make a touch, get it past the goalkeeper, but it is knocked away in the back by Emily Profaka, and an early opportunity for the Dolphins.
Yeah, what a huge opportunity there for Laval, Joe.
As another opportunity might be forthcoming, it's knocked away. That's Bracic who gets a body on it, But the Pioneers cleared out of the box, and Mike, there's some of that early pressure I just talked about. Samantha Laval able to get her foot on that ball, make a touch, put it around the goalkeeper, Brooke Satchow, but she wasn't able to regain possession in time to get a shot off.
Yeah, huge opportunity there for Laval, and the Dolphins coming out here, Joe, in the first couple of minutes and playing really good soccer and putting a lot of pressure on that Pioneer defense.
We spoke about some of the young Dolphins in the pregame. Angie Galan, one of those first-year Dolphins I referenced. She already has an assist this season, picked up on the game-winning goal by Jordan Yagos against Penn College. Nearly came away with her second there as she gives chase toward this ball, but it is recovered by Ponce and then punted away by Satchow toward midfield, headed by Sandor, and knocked down by Corinne Bowe of the Pioneers. Bowe looking to play Marissa Adelman through, but Boudreau comes off her line and retrieves that ball right near the top of the box.
Yeah, that was a nice-looking pass there by the Pioneers, just a little too hard, but, Adelman coming in with a good opportunity at the net.
Punted out toward midfield by Boudreau. That one finds its way into the defensive third of the field. The Pioneers, Satchow with a poor touch there, trying to clear that ball away. Didn't get all of it. Nearly topped it right over to Laval, but the Pioneers fortunately come away with possession. Bowe was looking for LeBeau on that one, but nobody home as the Dolphins knock it over the touchline. It will be a throw-in.
Yeah, nice cutout that time by Duca, the freshman. Going to be tested on the defensive end here this afternoon.
Kazi up to LeBeau, and it's knocked away by DeLoya. Looks like the Dolphins will be throwing in, so that ball knocked off of a Pioneer by DeLoya. Good defensive play. Whistle blows, and she didn't knock it off a Pioneer, Mike, as the official awards the throw-in to William Paterson. Both teams seem to believe it was a Dolphins throw-in, as DeLoya able to keep that ball in play down around the corner. And she is whistled for the foul.
Yeah, so essentially a corner kick coming up here, but it'll, of course, be a free kick. Let's see how the Pioneers play this one in the early going. We get our first look at a set piece here this afternoon.
I believe that's Lorraine Moffitt taking the free kick deep in the corner. That one toward the front of goal, right into the center of the box, and it is headed high. Try and get a number on the player taking that header attempt.
Yeah, another good opportunity that time by the Pioneers. So, both teams, Joe, here in the first 5 minutes with pretty good opportunities at the net.
That was Danielle Dachowski on the header attempt. Very small numbers on the front of these William Paterson uniforms, much larger numbers on the back. As this is Galan, and nobody there to receive that pass as the ball finds its way over towards our engineering table. Quick throw in by the Pioneers. This is Moffitt. Passes through midfield toward the far sideline, and Bracic gets there first for the Dolphins. Here comes CSI. Mitchell up to Bracic. Bracic working against Kayla Miller. Bracic beats her marker toward the box, but some help does arrive. That's Megan Ponce knocking the ball away and clearing toward the far sideline. Mitchell there to retrieve that clearance attempt, and the Dolphins regain possession as Askew plays one toward the middle of the field, and it's punted away by the Pioneers onto the foot of DeLoya. Mitchell for Galan. Galan back to Sandor. Sandor looking for somewhere to go with it, and her pass attempt toward Galan partially blocked, chipped up in the air off the shoulder of Duca, and fortunately for the Dolphins, that ball travels over the near sideline. Could have been trouble.
Yeah, that time the ball gets by Duca, and here come the Pioneers looking to attack.
This is LeBeau toward the middle of the field. Bowe back to Profaka. Pioneers working the ball in toward the penalty area, and that one nearly finding the foot of Kristen Bowe.
Yeah, the Pioneers starting to buzz around the Dolphin defensive side of the field a little bit. The last time the Dolphins had possession, Joe, they did a nice job bringing the ball up the far side of the field, looking very cohesive on that play, and Dolphins looking to get the ball down toward their own goal.
One early opportunity for the Dolphins, but since then, William Paterson has dominated possession down around the penalty area of the Dolphins. as we are just over 7 minutes into this first half. Here comes Miller. Soft tap over to Adelman. Dachowski back to Miller. Pioneers moving it slowly up the far sideline. Looking for some space in the middle of the field. They find it. Now they have numbers as Duca working against a pair of Pioneers. That one chipped toward Kazi. Kazi with a touch a bit too strong perhaps, and she did keep it in play, but Boudreau is there to retrieve it on the cross attempt.
Yeah, on that possession, Joe, the Pioneers put the ball cross field twice, bringing it up and ending up on the near side and getting the ball in front of the Dolphin goal, and Boudreau having to come up with the play.
Well, I thought Kazi was a bit too strong on the touch, but she did a good job to keep that ball from traveling over that boundary, as we will have a throw-in for the Pioneers upcoming here, but was able to chip the ball toward the center of goal. Boudreau, though, right there waiting for it. As now Bo gets past Duca, working against Deloya, and she runs out of real estate.
Yeah, that time good defensive play by the Dolphins. They'll get the free kick, and Dolphins looking to move the ball up the field. The Pioneers with the better of play here in the last couple of minutes, and you know they've been buzzing around, Joe, and they've had a couple of plays inside the box that have looked pretty dangerous and have been off by a little bit. But the Dolphins need to tighten up a little bit defensively and try to get the play more in the center of the field.
This is Callie Long working against 3 Pioneers. She gives it up to Askew, and her pass travels over the far sideline and over the fence, out of play. Pioneers throw in. Ball in the middle of the field with Moffitt. Moffitt once again had it, that time met by a pair of Dolphins. CSI takes it away. This is Sandor. Sandor looking for Pelinkovic on the right wing, and that ball knocked away toward the corner by Ponce. Can she chase it down? And she cannot, but it looks like it will be a throw-in and not a corner. Throw in by Pelinkovic over toward Laval and into the outstretched arms of Sachow.
Yeah, that time Pelinkovic, a nice throw in down on the near sideline, but went a little bit past everybody, and Sachow able to come out and make the play and punt the ball down the field. As Duca comes over, but once again the ball goes behind her, and it's going to be played now by Galan. Galan looking to work against Moffitt on the play. Moffitt able to come away with it and get it over to Bo. Now back on the near side, played there by Kazi. As the Pioneers look to move their way up the field, they chip it in front, but no one there but Deloya to make the play that time for the Dolphins, Joe.
As we work to get our live stats application up and running, for those of you trying to follow through live stats, we're working on it right now. As I look to get a shot tally for this game, and when I realized we had none, I took a brief trip over to the stats desk, and we'll have those live stats up and running in just a couple of minutes, as it looks like we will have another free kick upcoming for the Pioneers. This will be their second of the game.
Yeah, this one in a much more dangerous location, and not much of a foul there, Joe. Kind of looked like the Pioneer player stumbled over herself a little bit, but the official right on the scene calling the foul and really giving the Pioneers an opportunity from a very good location here, Joe, for their second free kick.
Well, we've seen some dangerous opportunities for William Paterson thus far. We'll see if they can add this one to the list, as it will be Lorraine Moffitt to take the free kick. They're setting up for a run toward that far post. Instead, it's a shot by Moffitt, and Boudreau was ready for it, as there really wasn't much traffic around the net. Boudreau had a clean line of sight toward that ball and was able to snag it out of the air with ease and cleanly.
Yeah, so Moffitt getting the first shot of the game on goal, Joe, for either team, and Boudreau there to make the save.
This is Moffitt in the midfield circle, working against Long. Was given some space and unable to make anything of it, as Duca intercepts the pass. Sandor over toward Galan. That pass intercepted by Kazi. Here come the Pioneers. And a good play there by Deloya to knock that ball back toward midfield. She cut off what may have been a very dangerous through ball toward Ashley Kazi, as this is Duca Duca finds Deloya, unable to make a clean touch on the first attempt, but Deloya regathers herself and plays it toward midfield. Ball finds its way back to her after ricocheting around near the midfield stripe. And nobody home on that pass by Long, way far ahead of Amber Mitchell.
Yeah, and you look at this back four, Joe, for the Dolphins, and a lot of inexperience there, and Rebecca Deloya. So it's Deloya now the leader in the back, and, it's been a Dolphin defense that's been so stout over the years, and, it'll be interesting to see how that tradition continues with these three new players here in 2019.
Here comes Kazi. Pass to Corinne Sandor able to intercept the pass intended for the center of the box as Galan finds Palinkovic. Palinkovic plays one through toward Laval, and Laval unable to get there first as Sachow scoops it up.
Yeah, and, Laval dangerous from everywhere on the field, Joe. And, she's the player the Dolphins are going to look at when they need goal scoring. And she already has 3 goals on the year, 3 out of the 5 Dolphin goals. And, had the best opportunity so far for the Dolphins here this afternoon is now the Pioneers look to counterattack as that's Bo in the center with possession and rolling it back now to Kazi.
Pioneers have it to the left of the penalty area as I'm continuing to work on our live stats to my right, trying to get the internet up and running as opportunity perhaps coming for the Pioneers, and a strong tackle there by Rebecca Deloya at the top of the box. Duca looking to clear, and that clearance finds its way to Samantha Laval. She chips it ahead looking for Brocic. Brocic and Miller both giving chase. Brocic knocks the ball away and takes control. Here comes Brocic, but Miller recovers quickly and cuts off her angle toward the box and is able to clear it away. So a very good play there by Brocic, Mike, but a good recovery by Miller as well.
Yeah, really good play that time by Brocic as the Dolphins now look to put the pressure on the Pioneers once again.
Palinkovic toward Laval, and Galan may get there. Galan and Sachow meet. Galan comes away with it. Sachow retreating toward goal. Here's Laval. Laval's shot is just wide of the far post as Mike, Dolphins with a good opportunity just about 15 minutes into this game. Good pursuit of that ball by Galan, and Laval, the Dolphins' leading goal scorer, just wide on the shot attempt.
Yeah, Angie Galan with a beautiful play along the near goal line and then feeding the ball to Laval, and Laval able to get her shoulders around and turn, but just couldn't get the ball inside the far post as that shot went just wide. And second big opportunity of the afternoon for Laval. And, if you're the Dolphins, that's what you want, Joe, because, given enough opportunities, Laval's going to put one in the back of the net.
Especially from that position, Mike, as arms of Samantha Boudreau.
Yeah, and that time Adelman didn't get everything on the shot, but a nice opportunity there for William Paterson, and Boudreau had to be sharp on the play as she's able to volley that one right on goal.
Play moves towards us along the near sideline as that's played back by Moffitt. Ponce over to the midfield circle, and that's up ahead to Bo. Here come the Pioneers again, but this time it's Rebecca Deloya intercepting the pass in the middle. She finds Callie Long. Back to Askew and up to Mitchell. 2 players collide along the far sideline. Mitchell and Profaka, as we will have a Dolphin substitution on the throw-in. It's Jordan Yagos entering, and Donnie Duca will head to the Dolphins bench.
Yeah, so Yagos checking into the game. She has a goal on the year here as she replaces Duca. And, Duca playing well in the back here in this first half, Joe.
A good showing so far for the Dolphins defensively, have cut off some potentially dangerous opportunities, while Samantha Boudreau has been up to the task on those opportunities that did come to fruition. As the ball is chipped up toward midfield, waiting for it is Sandor. Knocks it down and finds Jordan Yagos. Yagos over to Laval. Laval turns, trying to power her way through the Pioneers' defense, but could not.
Yeah, that time Joe Galan standing wide open on the near sideline. Now it'll be a Pioneer throw in near midfield.
Galan has demonstrated some good playmaking ability so far through the first couple of games we've covered here on CSI Sports. Then as you hear the wind pick up a bit, much more favorable conditions to play in today than we had earlier in the week for the men's game against Concordia, New York. It was a very hot day earlier this week on Wednesday, and nice and cool with some cloud coverage this morning from the CSI Soccer Complex as the Pioneers looking to move toward the box once again in another collision involving Amber Mitchell. This time she collides with Danielle Dachowski.
Yeah, that was a nice collision out near the Dolphin penalty area as both players go down and get up on the play, and now it'll be the Dolphins to throw the ball in deep along their sideline on the defensive end.
Askew looking to throw in toward Yagos. It's headed away, but it ultimately finds its way to Jordan Yagos. A foul is called, and that will go against William Paterson.
Yeah, you know, Joe, it's been a pretty entertaining first half here through the first 18 and a half minutes or so. You know, both teams going down the field. There have been opportunities at the goal, and it's been a good first half.
We have had already this year 3 entertaining games that we've covered on CSI Sportsnet. The first an exhibition between men's soccer and Ramapo. That game ended in a 1-1 tie. Women's soccer then took on Penn College, winning 3-2 earlier this week in that game against Concordia, New York for the men that I referenced. Dolphins dropped that one in overtime, 3-2, a heartbreaker for men's soccer in that game as the Dolphins once again cutting off the pass attempt toward the attacking third. Will look to counter. Instead, they turn it over. And with space is Marissa Adelman. She's working her way into the box, challenged by Deloya, and good harassing defense by Rebecca Deloya once again will earn the Dolphins a goal kick. And Mike Deloya has also done a great job in the back for the Dolphins thus far.
Yeah, you know, she's going to be the center fielder back there for the Dolphins. And, you know, she's made several good plays on the defensive end this side and, you know, really free to move around and go where the ball goes and has done a very effective job so far here in the first half.
When there has been space for the Pioneers, the Dolphins have done a good job of cutting it off quickly. As this is Deloya with possession, moving toward the near sideline. Her pass is blocked, and it travels over the boundary for a CSI throw-in. Waiting for someone to take that throw-in, it's Masada Palinkovic.
Yeah, Palinkovic will come in and have the throw-in. You mentioned during the pregame, Joe, picking up her first goal of the season in that game against Ramapo on Wednesday.
Good hands by our cameraman there to get that ball back in. That's Sampson behind me on camera. As Samantha Laval heads it toward the box, and Sachow knocks it over the touchline, and that will be a Dolphins corner kick. So some miscommunication there by the Pioneers, Mike, as Sachow came out of goal trying to scoop that ball up and get on top of it, and one of her defenders instead trying to get there and gain possession for herself, and they collide on the ball and knock it over the touchline for a Dolphins corner to be taken by Masada Palinkovic.
Yeah, you know, Joe, we mentioned this is her first start of the year.
As Palinkovic takes the corner toward the center of the box, that might have hit the head of Bracic, but either way, the ball trickles out toward midfield. Sandor recovers it, finds Palinkovic. Palinkovic surveys, taps the ball over to Galan. Galan moving in toward the box, crosses in front, and Sachow is there.
That was a nice cross that time by Galan, Joe, right into the center. A little too close that time to goal, but Dolphins need someone cutting towards that near post.
Two teams battling for possession here, turning with it and attempting to make a pass was Daniela Lebu, but the Dolphins all over it. Really nowhere for her to go with that ball, but CSI will turn it over deep in their defensive third as the throw-in is knocked down by Profaka. This is Mitchell who gained possession for the Dolphins, looking for Callie Long. Long has it, plays it toward Palinkovic and receives it right back. Sandor giving chase, a dangerous pass there by Long, and it is a Dolphins turnover. Here comes Dachowski. Dachowski met by Palinkovic, a good play there by Masada Palinkovic. Here comes Natalia Sandor. She finds Jordan Yagos. Yagos surveys, looking for Galan. Her pass blocked, but it finds the foot of Samantha Laval. Laval thought about a ball toward Brocic and seemed a bit indecisive there as she taps it lightly toward goal.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins have looked good this afternoon, Joe, really all game long so far. You're moving the ball up the field. They look like they're coordinated in their attack. And, you know, when they're looking to move up the field, they've done a nice job on the Pioneers here this afternoon and, you know, really have created several good opportunities for themselves here in the first half.
They have, Mike, and they've looked strong so far as Brocic looking for Laval. No space given for her to turn. This is Galan. Galan moving in toward the box, looking to get past Ashley Kazi. Kazi right with her, though. Forces Galan toward the touchline. Again, Galan trying to make a move toward the inside. Finds Yagos, and her cross attempt is blocked. That will earn CSI a corner kick.
Yeah, there was a lot to like on that play, Joe, for the Dolphins, especially the way Galan went in and handled the ball deep in Pioneer territory. And Dolphins ultimately ending up creating a corner kick for themselves. So a nice all-around play for the Dolphins as Nicole Mignon checks into the game here for the first time this afternoon, Joe, and she'll replace Callie Long.
So Mignon for Callie Long. Approximately 24 minutes into the first half as that corner kick is taken off the head of Laval. That header attempt is wide. And it looks like it will be a goal kick upcoming for the Pioneers. So the Dolphins do get a shot attempt off of that corner, but the header was well wide.
Yeah, you know, Joe, the Dolphins have had 2 corner kicks so far. Pelinkovic has taken both of them and done very well with both of them. That time leading to a Laval header that ended up going wide. But once again, the Dolphins with an opportunity at goal off their corner kick.
Shots 3-2 in favor of the Pioneers early on in this game. It has been a very back and forth affair so far. Both teams have had opportunities early as Pelinkovic battles for possession with Corinne Bowe. Tapped it over to Deloya. Deloya's pass was partially blocked, found Pelinkovic, but it's turned over by the Dolphins as Sandor runs over Moffitt. This is Kristen Bowe. And the ball now back with Dachowski, played over toward the far sideline for Pafaka. Pioneers retreat a bit. This is Lebu working against Mitchell. Mitchell takes it away. Mitchell up to Brocic. Stumbled for a moment, and that cost her possession. Ball rolling toward the far sideline and cut off by the Pioneers. Pass blocked by Mitchell. William Paterson throwing.
Yeah, so now the Pioneers trying to work their way down the far side of the field. Mitchell doing a nice job on that side for the Dolphins.
Mitchell once again trying to win possession for CSI, but the Pioneers passing the ball back and forth along the far boundary. Here comes Mignon to join in defensively, and Mitchell takes it away once again. Mitchell moves toward the center of the field, gives it up to Yagos. Yagos has some space. It's closed quickly by Moffitt as Yagos works toward the near sideline. Drops it off to Galan. Ball a bit strong. Galan overran it by a stride or two as well, and her pass for Pelinkovic is intercepted as Deloya gets a body on that ball, and it rolls right over to Samantha Boudreau.
Yeah, on that last play, Joe, you really have to like the confidence that Yagos took that ball across the center of the field with, and you know, a lot of these freshman players coming in and playing with confidence for the Dolphins here this afternoon.
That one chipped toward the box. Brocic giving chase, but Zachow is there.
Yeah, and, you know, Joe, Brocic has put herself in dangerous positions really all afternoon long with our hustle here in the first half.
This is Kazi toward the near sideline. Pelinkovic got there, but knocked it over the boundary. Throw-in for William Paterson. Throw-in headed up in the air by Deloya. Askew with an awkward touch, and giving chase is Kristen Bowe. And that will earn William Paterson a throw-in deep in the attacking third. Bowe looking for some help down in the corner. Continuing to survey. And she finally throws it in. Dolphins looking to trap along the touchline, they do just that. And we'll have a Dolphin substitution. It will be Gabrielle Churko, placing number 14, Angie Galan.
Yeah, Galan doing a nice job for the Dolphins. We'll head to the bench for the rest of the first half, but we'll probably see her in the second half, Joe.
I think that's a safe assumption, Mike, as she was strong in her play through the first half in this game. Two teams fighting for possession in the midfield. And the Pioneers come away with it. Ball chipped toward Moffitt, cut off by Yagos. This is Churko. Churko over to Mignon. Mignon plays one over toward the far sideline. This is Mitchell. Mitchell working against Profaka. And Mignon meets that ball in between a pair of Pioneers and then plays it back to Askew. Askew sees her pass cut off by Bowe. Here come the Pioneers. Challenge by Sandor as that one's lofted toward the far sideline. Giving chase is LeBou, and she runs out of real estate as it will be a Dolphins throw-in. Askew to throw. Askew's throw-in toward Mignon, headed up in the air. Bracic gets a foot on it, finds Laval. Laval and Yagos looking to move up the field in tandem, but Sachow is there to scoop it up as Yagos couldn't get there quickly enough. Nicely done by Kazi defensively, shielding Yagos from that ball.
Yeah, it was a nice defensive play that time by the Pioneers as they'll have the free kick into midfield.
Sandor wins the header just beyond midfield, but the ball winds up with Dachowski. Long ball up ahead toward Adelman, but Boudreau all over that one. Adelman marked by a couple of Dolphins there, both Deloya and Pelinkovic in the area. Clock winds down towards 15 minutes remaining in this first half. Still no score. We spoke about it during the pregame last year. The Pioneers got the best of the Dolphins early, as we will have the first Pioneer substitution.
So Lindsay Ash will replace LeBeau for the Pioneers, Joe. But it's been a pretty even first half of soccer here. Both teams have had opportunities, but neither team has really had that real strong shot on goal yet. The Pioneers credited with 2 shots officially. The Dolphins have gotten the ball in the penalty area a couple of times, but yet to get that finishing touch.
I think it's fair to say the best opportunity of the game likely came on that shot by Laval that went wide. That's one of the better chances the Dolphins could ask for on the foot of their best goal scorer so far this year and last, with Sandor making that pass toward Bracic, and a collision as Bracic goes down. Play continues, no foul called, and that looked like a fairly hard collision there, Mike, and Bracic gets right up from it, but we'll see if she shows any effects of that. As Churko looking for Yago sees her pass go too long.
Yeah, both teams have come out and played each other physically, but I think clean here in the first half, and, the official doing a nice job letting the ladies play it out on the field.
Both players trying to get to that ball, as that's the case right there as well. 2 players go down, and this doesn't look good as the Dolphins will work the ball up the near sideline, and Moffitt does get up after initially staying down, holding her shoulder. Might have been some theatrics there.
Yeah, Moffitt back up on the field, and play continues.
Well, that's 2 straight collisions that didn't look good when they occurred, but fortunately after both of them, each player able to get back to their feet quickly and rejoin the fray, as that's headed off the throw-in by the Pioneers. 3 Dolphins chase it down.
Handball on the play, Joe.
And that is a handball, so a foul called against the Dolphins there, as it will be a free kick for the Pioneers. That ball curves towards us, headed away by Adelman. Askew. Nifty move there by the official to avoid that ball, and it quickly finds its way over the near sideline for Dolphins throw-in. Pelinkovic to take it. Throws it toward Laval. And That one is off of Megan Ponce, and another Dolphins throw in, this time deeper in the attacking third. As we have a Dolphin substitution, Paulina Ambrose will check in to replace Nermina Bracic.
And so Ambrose, one of the veterans on this CSI Dolphin team, will replace Nermina Bracic. And the Bracic played really well in the first half, Joe, for the Dolphins, and really made herself dangerous on a few occasions. And here they come once again.
Speaking of dangerous, Mike, that throw-in nearly became very dangerous as Laval had inside position on 2 Pioneers, but the ball curved away from her. Fortunately for William Paterson, as Yagos crosses toward the box, not a lot on that one, and Kayla Miller were clear. Headed there by Kristen Bowe, and here comes Adelman, but once again, Deloya is there, and she cuts off Adelman's path to the ball. Quick throw-in taken by Adelman. She receives a pass right back, chips it in toward the middle of the box. Looking to turn is Bowe, and she finds Kristen Bowe. That was Corinne Bowe, who initially had possession, finds Kristen, whose shot is saved by Boudreau.
Yeah, and that was a real quick counterattack that time by William Paterson, Joe. And even after they had to take the throw in, they still moved quickly, got down. I got an opportunity before the Dolphins could completely set up, and a nice play by Boudreau to make the play for the Dolphins.
Well, getting a look from here, Mike, I think it's fair to assume the Bows are sisters. They look very much alike from a distance, sometimes tough to tell, but one Bow to another on that last shot attempt as Ambrose knocks that pass attempt down. This is Profaka up the far sideline to Dachowski, working against Mignon. And down goes Dachowski as we have another collision. That's 3 in the last couple of minutes, and Dachowski remains down. The official stops play, did not stop the clock, and looks like Dachowski might have just gotten the wind knocked out of her. We'll see. The whistle blows to resume play. Throw-in taken by Amber Mitchell of the Dolphins. Knocked down by Ambrose. And that's lofted up in the air by Dachowski. Closest Pioneer was Adelman, but Deloya will let that ball travel over the touchline for a Dolphins goal kick.
Yeah, so we have just 10 minutes remaining here in this first half. Dolphins with 2 corner kicks. Pioneers with 3 shots on goal. It's been a pretty even back and forth first half here through the first 35.
Boudreau ready to take the goal kick, a short goal kick, but fortunately Sandor is there. She chips it up toward midfield, headed down by Dachowski, who appears okay. Mignon over to Sandor. Sandor towards Ambrose, getting a piece of it was Profaka, and that one rolls toward the far sideline. Ambrose challenging, and this is Miller. Miller sees her pass broken up by Sandor, and Askew is called for the foul as she challenged Dachowski for the ball, and a quick free kick taken toward Adelman, but once again the ball for Adelman a bit too strong, and it rolls over the far sideline, but possession this time will remain with William Paterson, a throw-in deep in the attacking third.
Yeah, so the Pioneers trying to press the issue deep inside Dolphin territory, and Dolphins have done a very good job all afternoon defensively, and really keeping the Pioneers to the sides of the goal and preventing those big goal-scoring opportunities.
Deloya working against Adelman, and goal kick upcoming.
You mentioned Deloya's name, all afternoon long, Joe. She's done a very good job steadying that Dolphin defense here this afternoon.
Boudreau has faced 4 shots in this game, 3 of those on goal, but none of them were very threatening opportunities for the Pioneers. Ball headed up in the air by the Pioneers, but winds up on the foot of Sandor. She finds Yagos. Ball played back to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic looking to square this one up and send it toward Laval, but Laval heads it directly into the scorer's table. As the Pioneers, once again, quick throw-in. Quick free kicks taken by William Paterson as well, trying to catch the Dolphins napping several times already. This is Yagos. Yagos working against Kazi and unable to get by her as it will be a Pioneers throw in this time. Kazi throws in, knocked down by Mignon, and smart move there by Mignon to get out of the way of that clearance by Yagos as she ducked out of danger. Not sure you were able to see it on your screen along the near boundary with our tent set up along the near sideline as Pelinkovic sends one toward the middle of the field. Winds up on the foot of Ambrose after it's knocked down by Miller. Laval trying to win possession, and she can't, as Laval may have another opportunity here, and it's cleared away by Kazi. Nice job there to send that ball out of a dangerous position. Here come the Pioneers, and nice job there by Askew and Deloya.
Yeah, that time, Joe, the Dolphins giving up a corner, but, you know, Pioneers looking dangerous and not really their worst result, Joe. Dolphins will take the corner on that and try to get back and regroup defensively.
Dolphins deserve a lot of credit defensively in this game so far, Mike. Many instances where the Pioneers could have ended up with a quality opportunity to score or perhaps a corner kick. The Dolphins have harassed them and forced goal kicks instead. So it's been good work defensively by the Dolphins thus far. And you take a look at the all-time scoring disparity between these two teams in just a moment, as that one's headed away for a moment by the Dolphins. Adelman trying to gain possession, attempting a shot, but whiffing was Dachowski. She may try again. She's forced to retreat by Laval and Mignon. Laval dispossesses her. Here come the Dolphins as Sandor moves towards the center of the field. This is Ambrose. Ambrose looking for Laval. Laval trying to win possession. She does, working against a pair of Pioneers. Laval nearly comes away with it and completely runs over Ponce, who goes down. Ponce no match for Laval there, and Sachow able to gain possession there on what will go down as the first CSI shot on goal.
Yeah, and, you know, that was a nice transition play by Sandor for the Dolphins, and she's played very well for the Dolphins here this afternoon and really has helped the Dolphins go from defense to offense in the midfield.
Whistle blown in the midfield, foul called against Gabrielle Churko, and as I was saying before, Mike, you take a look at the scoring disparity between these two teams in their 4 previous meetings, 24-1. In favor of the Pioneers. So you have to love the job the Dolphins have done defensively so far in this game, as William Paterson has really given them a lot of trouble in the past. Those meetings scattered across 12 years, but nonetheless, William Paterson certainly has gotten the best of CSI in the past, but so far in this game, these two teams deadlocked in a scoreless tie under 5 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, the Pioneers starting to build up a little bit now, Joe, on the Dolphins' defensive side of the field. With 4.5 minutes remaining, Dolphins going to look to turn the field position around here a little bit.
Dangerous move there by Pelinkovic. Nearly lost the ball in a tough spot as that's knocked up in the air by the Pioneers. Moffitt goes down, but an opportunity perhaps brewing for a moment. Dolphins close the door very quickly as next stoppage will have a pair of substitutions coming on, one for each side. Before that, though, Sandor looking to move up the field with it along the far sideline. Ambrose giving chase, and she runs out of space as the horn does sound, and we have a pair of substitutions.
Yeah, Linda Rosa will check into the game, Joe, for the first time here this afternoon, and she'll replace Samantha Laval as Laval will come to the sideline here for the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and it looks like Abby Kampmeyer will check into the game for the Pioneers, and she'll replace Corrine Bowe.
So Kampmeyer for Bowe and DeRosa for Laval with about 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. As play resumes, this is Nicole Mignon, dispossessed by the Pioneers. That was Lindsay Ash taking the ball away, as offsides will be the call against William Paterson.
Yeah, so the Dolphins will have the free kick as we work our way here, Joe, toward the 43rd minute of play here in the first half. And, you know, you mentioned it before, Joe, Dolphins doing a very nice job defensively on William Paterson. Now look to create a little bit more offense here to end this first half.
Ball sent out beyond midfield. Pioneers come away with it. Clock ticks down towards 2:40 to play in the first half. Adelman looking for Kristen Bowe, but unable to connect as Bowe narrowly avoids being hit in the face with the ball. And this is Adelman. She is on sides, working along the near sideline. Deloya right there waiting for her once again. Took the ball away for a moment. This is Kazi working toward the touchline against Pelinkovic. She takes it deep into the box, and Askew is there with a strong tackle, but that will give the Pioneers a corner kick. Clock ticks down toward 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was a nice aggressive attack along the near goal line, and for the first time, the Pioneers really able to work themselves in front and get a nice opportunity at goal. Dolphins doing a nice job to knock that one wide as the Pioneers get their second corner kick of the afternoon. Looks like, I think that's Moffitt taking it, Joe.
It is. Number 19, Lorraine Moffitt, takes the corner and finds the head of Kristen Bowe. If that one's redirected on goal, that's an incredibly tough save for Boudreau, but despite Bowe getting her head on it, was unable to redirect it toward goal. It travels over the touchline. It will be a Dolphins goal kick, and CSI catching a big break there, Mike.
Yeah, beautiful corner kick that time by Moffitt, and she put it right in front, right where it needed to be. Dolphins fortunate that one went wide, and now Boudreau will take the free kick.
Boudreau's goal kick met in the midfield by a pair of Pioneers. Yep, it's an offsides as the free kick is taken by Deloya. Clock winding down inside 40 seconds. Dolphins need to work quickly if they want another opportunity. Instead, it might be the Pioneers as Adelman got inside of Pelinkovic, makes a nice move, and that one finds the back of the net. The Dolphins concede the first goal of the game late in this first half, and with 28.4 seconds to play in half number one, the Pioneers take a 1-0 lead on the goal by Marissa Adelman.
Yeah, you know, Joe, the Pioneers had been building and building towards this for the last couple of minutes. They had that big corner kick opportunity that went wide, and, you know, that time just too much room in front and really no chance for Boudreau as the Pioneers lead by a score of 1-0.
A beautifully placed shot by Adelman. That's her second goal of the season. And we're down inside of 10 seconds to play in the first half. Ball redirected toward the top of the box. Mignon will send one high and wide, and that will bring the first half to a close. And, Mike, you hate to see a goal like that at the end of the half if you're the Dolphins. A potential backbreaker if it demoralizes you. We'll see what kind of resilience the Dolphins show coming out early in half number two. They've played well so far, but despite that, it's a 1-0 William Paterson advantage.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins had done a really nice job, but over the last couple of minutes, allowing William Paterson to get a little too much opportunities at the net. And, you know, that time Edelman came in and, you know, had plenty of room in the center and made no mistake, put it in the far corner to give the Pioneers a 1-0 lead. So Dolphins will go into halftime, look to regroup coming into the second half, having played well in the first, but trailing by a score of 1-0.
So we've reached halftime at the CSI Soccer Complex. Dolphins trailing the Pioneers by a score of 1-0. When Mike and I come back, we will have full first half stats, more analysis, and a look ahead to half number two. We'll also take a look around the College of Staten Island athletic programs. More action taking place today, both cross country and tennis. Participating, of course, cross-country in a meet, and tennis in a home match here at the CSI Tennis Center. We'll speak a bit about that when we come back here on CSI Sportsnet. This is exclusive CSI Dolphins women's soccer coverage at csidolphins.com.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Be sure to check out
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
The ceremony was a blast.
It was just like the surreal moment of my dreams are coming true.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, "Oh, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client."
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into?
We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be. So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom pat me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind
They have this
wanders.
video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
The ceremony was a blast.
It was just like this surreal moment of my dreams are coming true.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, "Oh, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client."
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into?
We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be. So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom pat me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind
They have this
wanders.
video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here she comes.